I have been waiting for this series. What is going on, guys? Shu here, bringing you the first review of Maul Shadow Lord. Now, this is a series that I personally have been excited for, and I'm glad that for on this channel, this will be the first content of Star Wars content on the channel. And what a great way to start! I'm very much happy with these two seasons. I mean, these two episodes. Goodness, we are getting a second season, which, it's banana wild for me to find out that even before this show premiered, that it was already announced that it was going to have a second season, and just the delivery of these episodes so far, like you could see a difference between what we've gotten before and now. I think that they should have done shows like this for characters like Maul, maybe even Count Dooku, characters that obviously are either Sith or even just dark side users. They've shied away from it. And here I'm really enjoying the darker side of things when it comes to Star Wars. So I'm very happy personally. I'm going to just go ahead and say that with where we're at. But enough of the flattery. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We open up with a scene here that is very powerful, very strong. We actually see Rook Cast along with some other members of the Death Watch that are trying to get some credits back. And they're stealing it from these people that were once part of the Shadow Collective. We see how they're actually working, and they're also on the planet of Janix. I think it was interesting seeing Rook Cast being kind of like the right hand woman to Maul right here, and how they were able to execute this. They were able to get the credits and obviously getting some attention, and as they're being found by the police, we see Maul taking care of business. So it was a nice little start, but we see here that this is to ruffle some feathers, and we see these crime lords actually start to get worried and thinking, well, first it's maybe a attack amongst themselves, amongst the crime lords, but then they kind of suspect, what if it was somebody else? In fact, we have them meeting together and trying to set up this meeting in a neutral territory in order to discuss things, and well, things don't go well. In fact, we see the other boss, Vario. He survives. He actually takes out the other one, and things just get messy. We see things just kind of going at a very fast pace for these guys. Now, they're very much lower level, but these guys have profited off of Maul falling, and obviously not being part of the leader of the Shadow Collective, and him being away, left for the Pikes, the Crimson Dawn, and other people to just kind of prosper in their own way. And I think for the most part, the Pikes have been probably the people that have benefited most from Maul's absence. Now, while all this is happening to Maul, we also get to see these other two Jedi who are hidden away. We see Master Eco, I believe his name is, and Devon. These two are survivors of Order 66, and they're very much hungry. But we see that Master Eco is a lot like the Jedi of the old, while Devon is trying to make sure that she eats in some way. But it doesn't go very well. In fact, she actually ends up having to get arrested, taken away, and this doesn't go very well. We also see that the officer that arrests her, Lawson, he's I'm not sure what his role is going to be in all this, but he's interested in Maul. He found out that he's actually the person behind that attack. He also sees that he's using a laser sword. So it's been some time. So obviously he doesn't, instead of calling it a lightsaber, calls it a laser sword. And we see that he is wanting to know. Unfortunately, the ISB, when looking up Maul, the ISB has his file under protection, and his trusty sidekick Two Boots actually tells him, we need to call the Empire. And of course, a few other people say that. I think his boss says it, and it's mentioned a few through these episodes. But he's really trying to hold back from having the Empire getting involved when it comes to Maul. And understandably so, because like if they get involved, we know how the Empire works, how the ISB works. They're going to get their hands involved, they're going to take full control, and it's not going to be pretty. And so he's trying to hold back, and though we know that unfortunately it's going to have to happen where the Empire does get involved, and it's just not going to be good. But we see that the target of Vario is still on the way, to try to find him. Maul gets him out, also gets Devin out, and we see that this kind of leads into the next episode where they're leaving, and just the animation and the way that Maul is trying to get out of there, he's very calculated, and even the Master Eco tries to get Devin back. And rather than Maul engaging, he actually kind of sets it up where he's, just trying to cause some distraction, get them out of there. And it's just kind of interesting to see how Maul takes Vario back. He's using him for information, where the Pikes are at. And I gotta say, Maul in these 2 episodes gets a couple of hallway scenes, getting to Vario and then getting like to the Pikes. Really badass scenes. I thought they were really awesome, and just that ruthlessness that Maul has. He's become very calculated, and obviously, the reason why he has Devin is to hopefully convert her over to be someone to work with him. So we'll see what happens there. But by the end of the episode, we see Devin kind of getting out and seeing where she'll go. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen throughout this entire series. I'm really interested. But that is it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of like initial thoughts for these 2 episodes. As always, I'll stay safe, and I'll catch you all later.